In this video, we will go through the important factors to consider before you drop a subject. This is most relevant for students in upper secondary or even in JC. There are 4 factors and we will go through each of them in detail. The first, current workload. Some of you might be taking maybe 8 or 9 subjects. And if you are managing well for most of them, why are you still dropping? You might be wondering, of course, I won't be dropping if I'm managing well, but there are students who approach me to drop their subject. What we are going to go through is non-judgmental. We are not judging your decisions, but we hope to reduce your regrets in future. So these considerations, think through them before you make your decision. Most of the time, students who are managing well, they still want to drop a subject is because they have spent a lot of time and energy on this particular subject, and they have quite a clear idea what they want to do in future. They have done their research that this subject is not a compulsory entry requirement to apply for their future course or job, so they want to drop it. However, what you are researching now are for current graduating students. Sometimes educational policies change, and down the road, this subject might be useful again in future. So if you are doing well, why not persevere for a few more months, have this subject be reflected in your graduation certificate, so that in case you need it in future, you have proof that you have done this subject. If not, if you want to apply it, then you try to convince the school or the employer that, hey, I actually have this knowledge, but it isn't reflected in your certificate. They won't be flipping through your secondary school report card just to find out which term you have studied a few months for. So that is one thing to take note. Then if you are very sure you want to drop this subject, please have a plan on what will you be doing with your extra time. Don't continue to do the same. If not, you will just be getting the same result with the exclusion of having this subject reflected on your certificate. Let's say if you haven't been doing well for this subject and you want to drop, what are some of the methods you have tried to improve so far? If you tried 1 or 2 methods, it hasn't improved, there are many other ways. Do you want to try all of them before dropping it? For example, if you have tried asking questions in class to clarify, but you still cannot understand, do you want to try taking tuition or maybe have one-on-one consultation with your teacher after class? Go through all of them so that when you drop it, you can drop it with a peace of mind. The second factor to consider, future workload. For example, if you are going to JC, junior college or MI, then in JC itself, there are less subjects for you to take. So if you feel that you won't be able to cope with this number of subjects because you do not have a lot of free time to yourself, after you persevere a few more months, you finish secondary school, in JC or even poly, you will have more free time to do the things that you want if it is not urgent. If you want to drop this subject because your other subjects are also not doing well, you want to focus on other subjects, which is more important, then it makes more sense, provided you have strategies to improve your other subjects. Having more time to study for the other subjects won't automatically improve them or make them better. Then the third consideration, uh, for your admission into tertiary institution, for example, university or even your post bachelor degree courses, maybe your postgraduate course, would you require this knowledge somehow? If not, then you please shortlist at least 3 different courses and make sure none of them need this subject knowledge. Don't just focus on 1 or 2 because your interest might change in future. So at least have a wider range of subjects, check the prerequisites. If all of them really do not need this, then you can drop it, knowing that you won't have any change in heart in future. The fourth and the last factor, think of your career aspiration. Again, at least two or three of them. Then, would you need this in your future, even if it is not a compulsory entry requirement? So, for example, many students want to drop physics because they are quite sure the career they want to go in do not need physics knowledge. But physics is present in everyday life, even in how things function, or if you play sports, how the motion of the ball works. So, would this knowledge somehow help you in understanding or have a general understanding of things, not just at work, but also in your personal life? As a homework, you can try to go through all this before confirming your decision to drop that subject. Shortlist three poly or university courses, check the entry requirements, try all methods to improve, and so that you won't limit your own options in future. For example, physics is not only required for engineering, but if you want to apply for ICT, applied sciences, you will also need physics background. So if you drop physics, then you'll be closing all these doors for yourself. Physics is just an example. You can check for the other subjects as well.